Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends of mine, my family, my phenomenal followers. I want to wish you all an absolute unreal, fantastic night. And hope you are doing well. And I'm wishing you strength and courage to overcome any obstacle you may be going through right now. That's tough to deal with. I want to tell you, you're not alone. And I love you. And you are on this beautiful earth for a reason. And don't ever forget that today, folks. Today I'm inspired. I woke up this morning thinking about life. Thinking about how fast life can change. And thinking about the gratitude I have for my life. And being grateful on a daily basis to inspire my own mind and self, to show everybody in the world that life moves on through any type of challenge. I wanted to share with you a little bit today about why I am in my rocking wheelchair. I had a snowmobile accident December 8th, 2004 in Saskatchewan, Canada at approximately 10:30 p.m. on the 8th day of December 2004. I remember it all like it was yesterday, and that is when I remember the change of my lifestyle completely changed, and the way I think completely changed, and my whole mindset changed for the better. I was going about 70 miles per hour through a field. It was pitch black, dark outside. My helmet fogged up. I remember looking down at the speedometer. It showed about 70 miles per hour. While I was trying to get rid of the fog on my helmet, that's when an approach came up and I did not see it. I hit the approach, flew right over the road, landed in the opposite ditch, and crashed into a fence. And from the impact, that's what caused me to instantly be paralyzed from the L1 vertebrae, as my spinal cord at that level was severed completely, right apart, cut in half, because of the severity of the injury. I remember then, I flew over the handlebars, which caused 3 breaks in my pelvis, and during that time, when I shattered my pelvis, it caused damage to my bladder, which I ended up going into septic shock because I started urinating into my own body. I remember this all. I remember laying there and asking the good Lord to give me one more day. I remember praying that if it was my last day to live, that I could somehow make a beautiful portrayance of my life. I remember as the ambulance picked me up, I was still conscious. And all the way to the hospital, I was wondering, what in the name of time is going to happen? I didn't know if I was living or dying. Thoughts were going through my mind like you wouldn't believe. I then arrived at the hospital with a plane, a medevac plane, waiting to take me to the University of Alberta Hospital in Edmonton. Oh, I remember getting out of that ambulance. They had me on a stretcher. They put me onto the bed in the hospital. And they said, "Son." The doctor looked at me with big eyes and said, "Son, it looks like you're never going to walk again." I remember being 18 years of age at that time. That was the last thing I wanted to hear. That was the last thing I thought an 18-year-old should have to endure. But I want to say that that is the best thing that has ever happened to me in my life, as it has changed me in so many different ways to become a better person. I was then airlifted to the hospital in Edmonton. Had 3 major surgeries. One on my back, one to repair the pelvis, and then one to repair my damaged bladder. Oh, as I laid there awaiting the surgery, I didn't know if I would even live through the surgery, because the doctor told me I had a 55% chance of dying because of that spinal cord surgery, because it was so intense. It was a 12-hour surgery just on my back alone. And I remember my family was waiting for me in the hospital, wondering, where is Scott? Why isn't he coming out? The worry that was going through their mind. The sorrow they were feeling. If Scott does not come through this, what then? Oh, it so happened I made it through surgery. I remember coming out of surgery and the doctor looking at me and saying, Scott, that was a successful surgery there, young fella. And you now have a choice to make, because your whole life has changed. I remember that doctor looking at me with eyes of sadness as he was portraying to me that he knew my life would change because of not being able to walk. But I want to share with you all today, that was the best thing that has ever happened to me in my life. If I can say it like that, having that accident. Because it showed me many things. It showed me gratitude that I have never seen before. It showed me to wake up on a daily basis with a grateful heart and mind, and show the world with a grateful heart that life is a choice. And that choice is up to me to choose how I'm going to live my beautiful life. I remember, though, after all the surgeries were done, I then went to a rehab hospital called Glenrose, also in Edmonton. I had to learn how to be in a wheelchair. I had to learn all new things, as life was totally different. But I remember the visitations I had with doctors and nurses and staff there. Those are memories I'm going to cherish forever. We would cry together. We would laugh together. We would joke together. And they would tell me that life moves forward from this day onward. And that is exactly what happened, folks. I made the best out of every day. I'm not saying that I didn't have hard days or hard times back then, because I did. I at first had a hard time accepting my new life. But folks, the acceptance I finally put into my own life by just accepting what had happened was something I will never forget. I remember the nurses and doctors sitting there. They were saying, Scott, your whole life has changed. You'll never walk again. You cut your spinal cord right apart. There's no hope of nothing. And I remember saying, folks, to me, life is a choice. And if I choose to live my life filled with gratitude, that's something I want to make that change today. I remember we all cried together. I remember the nurses came and hugged me. And I told them that life to me is a beautiful thing. As I used to at that time, before my accident, I used to take advantage of life. I was never happy. I was putting on a false front of life completely. When after being told by the surgeon I would never walk again, that completely changed my outlook on life. I remember when I was done at the Glenrose Hospital. I then moved into my own house. That's when reality hit. I now was living alone. I didn't have the nurses or doctors there to talk to. But I remember the times that I would cry with my friends and say, life is a beautiful thing, and let's make today the best day of our life. I wasn't crying because I was mad about what had happened. I was inspired that I can move on from an ailment or from something that I thought would stop me from living life. And I have made the best day out of every day. And I honestly can tell you today, I don't even know when the last time was when I had a bad day. Because I'm grateful. I love my life like you wouldn't believe. I live my life to its fullest. And I make every day a beautiful thing. Because we're given life to motivate and inspire and show people that we're on this earth to prove everybody wrong when they say you can't accomplish a goal in life. You show them that because of a challenge, that gives you more stamina to make it happen. That gives you more joy in your heart to show the world that this is going to happen, and you literally make it happen. Since my accident, I have been to auctioneering school. I'm a licensed Alberta auctioneer. I currently work in retail where I love it. I love people. I love conducting auctions where people are present, as it inspires me to show people that you can accomplish anything in your life. And a challenge should motivate you to make things happen. A challenge should not stop you or hold you back, because that's when a negative mindset begins to creep in. Oh, today, ladies and gentlemen, no. Make your life the best thing ever. Live your life like it's your last day on this earth. And prove everybody wrong. Whether you have a big or small or no challenge whatsoever in life. Prove everyone wrong and show them that life becomes possible when you simply allow that mindset with the gratitude of life in your heart and mind on a daily basis. You can literally move mountains with inspiration. Last but not least, I want to thank my dear family, my dear friends who have stood by me through this beautiful life of wheeling on from my absolute beautiful wheelchair. And I want to thank them for inspiring and motivating my mind as well. Because that is how I was able to accomplish things. Maybe when I was first injured, I was having a bad day. It was because of my family that kept me pursuing goals and making life happen. And that is what I call gratitude from the bottom of my heart. Because being grateful is such a beautiful thing. And a grateful heart can give you beautiful results in life, beneficial results, and last but not least, give you a motivating mindset to overcome any obstacle in life. Love you all dearly, my friends. Have an awesome night.